This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by one of the best prospects in boxing at the minute, Nico Leivars. Nico, we're down at Steele City Gym in Sheffield. You've just done a bit of a session with Grant Smith and the boys. First off, good Christmas, good New Year?
Yeah, it was, thanks mate, and relaxed a bit, unwinded a bit, but also we know we've got a job in hand in a month or so, so we had to keep on the ball with the training and keep everything going behind the scenes, so it's been a busy few weeks.
Is it difficult over Christmas? Because obviously everyone's indulging and enjoying the food and stuff like that, and appreciate it, Grant, thank you. Everyone, say that again. Everyone's enjoying themselves over Christmas, you know, indulging and eating stuff. Is it hard to sort of put that to the back of your mind and think, you know what, I've got a fight, I have to stay on it?
No, not at all. You know, it's my job, I love doing it, and let's be fair, I get paid to go in there and fight. So if I can't take my job seriously and do it properly, I don't deserve to be doing what I'm doing. You know, I'm a lucky lad to be able to be in this position where I can fight in front of thousands of people on TV and that. So, for the sake of not eating a bit of turkey and stuffing, I'm sound with getting up and doing my runs and training.
Now, I first saw you fight on the Wood Conlon Undercard in Nottingham. It's a huge platform for someone who's, you know, just starting out. You've had a good year. I saw you back in Leeds on the Bateson Undercard as well. How would you sort of assess your first year as a pro turning over?
A good year. You know, a lot of learning in and out of the ring, you know, a few injuries that set me back, a few rehab periods where I had to mentally keep on it as well. You know, I'm only young, I'm still learning on the job, but like you said, there was a lot of pressure straight off, you know, with the debut I had, the follow-up fights, being on so many matchroom cards so early on. A really good year mentally for me. In and out of the ring, learning things, picking things up, which I always try and do.
Yeah.
So I think you can always learn something from any situation you're in, good or bad. And coming into this year, I look back from last year where I was, I'm in a lot better position, which is what I want.
100%. I mean, you look at this gym as well with the sort of plethora of talent you've got, all at different stages as well. Obviously, Sonny Edwards is their world champion. You've Dalton, who's just won British. But you also got Junaid Boston, who's like you, just starting out as well. So you've got that mixture of talent and abilities in the gym. What's it been like training here with Grant Smith, and how important has he been in your development this early on?
Well, I've only been at the gym just over a year now, and you know, settling in straight away, all the lads welcome me with open arms, straight in as part of them. And I think last year showed how tight-knit we are as a unit and how well we work together, because God knows how many fights unbeaten. You know, titles coming in, you know, big shows, big performances, and we're all bouncing off each other with the momentum we're getting in the gym. And I think last year we really did well, but we're already on about this year keeping it going and making it even better, and I think we will do.
Now, one thing I noticed about you, you've got one hell of a support behind you. You were on early on in the Wood Conlon card and could hear all your fans and the army of support you had for someone who's only just starting out. How sort of privileged do you feel that you've got their backing and that you've obviously got that support early on? Because that's the problem with a lot of fighters. Sometimes they don't maybe sell tickets, they might have the talent and ability, but you seem to have got that support and backing.
Yeah, you know, I'm a lucky lad because, like you said, normally it's either one way or the other. You either have the ability or you have the tickets, but to be able to have both, and I'm from a small town, but everyone seems to have gotten behind me and really got on board with the journey. But even so, when I've been fighting in Nottingham, Leeds, you know, I've had people follow me, get behind my journey, and I have a lot more people turn up to my fights now that aren't even from where I'm from, in Mansfield, and you know, they're always buying tickets and travelling to come and watch. So it really is nice because to me, I'm just a little lad from a small town. I never see myself as what maybe other people see it on YouTube or TV or whatever. But you know, to sit back sometimes and just appreciate the people that pay a lot of money. Yeah. You know, every fight it's been the same faces turning up, fight in, fight out. Yeah. So to appreciate them spending £200-300 because they bring their whole family along to these matchroom shows, it really does mean a lot.
When you look at obviously where you are now, obviously you'll have big aspirations about what you want to do in the sport. Are you sort of conscious that you don't rush it? Because you see a lot of fighters who come in the game and it's like, oh, want a title now. How sort of far ahead are you looking? Like, what's the plan for this year?
Definitely title by the end of the year. And that's not through setting random goals, that's through working my way up the rounds, getting good sparring in, having confidence in my own ability and the work we're doing in the gym and in sparring. You know, I've got a great team behind me, my trainers and my management, and I won't be rushed. do all the work behind the scenes so that the confidence is in the ability, not just words.
What's the sort of biggest change in your life since becoming pro? Have you noticed any differences? Have friends changed? Has your circle around you changed? Have you noticed anything, or has there been any sort of, I don't know, stumbling blocks along the way?
I think I was fortunate because I had a large part of my career where I was an elite amateur on Team GB, you know, before that representing Team Italy, where I was paid to do it full time anyway, so I was almost living as a professional anyway in my amateur career. So I was always living a life, always training hard. So coming over to the pros, the only real difference is the longer duration of the fight, you know, pacing yourself over 6 or 8, 10 rounds instead of going out for a 3-minute sprint. But that's only little adaptations really, but apart from that, it's just how it is, isn't it? You've got to put the work in the gym and mentally as well, but nothing I'm not used to already.
Now, the next show you're going to be on, we think, by all accounts, is going to be Leigh versus Mauricio Lara in Nottingham. You know, where you fought before. Can I get your opinion though first on the main event? What do you think happens in that fight? We mentioned sort of off camera, nobody's really shouting to fight Lara. I know Josh has said he wants to run that back again, but what do you make of that main event?
Props to Leigh, he's got balls of steel, I'll give him that. I mean, you know, he's a dangerous puncher, Lara, and unpredictable, wild, and he's a bit of a nutcase and all in it, let's be honest. So, you know, to welcome that challenge with no real reward, like another belt, or, you know, the recognition that maybe you'd get fighting another big name, or the Conlon rematch even. You know, so fair play to Leigh, and like, it's a very, very good fight. I see Leigh winning just from the better boxing ability, but
think he gets a stoppage?
They can both hit. I think it genuinely will be a case of who can land a clean shot first, and I think that's where Leigh's boxing ability might come in his favour, of landing the cleaner shot first through maybe the feints or the positioning of his feet, because they've both got hands like we've seen the knockouts, haven't we?
Looking at some of the big fights that are coming up in 2023, if you could put together, I don't know, what's the fight you're most looking forward to, or one that if you could put together you would?
Spence-Crawford.
I mean, standard, isn't it? Do you think we're ever going to see that fight? It's getting a bit annoying, isn't it?
Not only for the fact of the actual fight, but just like it'd be a big turning point in behind the scenes with boxing, with, you know, different organisations and governing bodies and promoters just going, look, we're suffocating the sport, just let them fight. If the money's a little bit less, so be it, but we need the mega fights, because I think that's what we're missing at the minute. I think there's too much talk on Twitter and too much social media. This might be happening, that might be happening. Until that poster comes up on Instagram with a fight date and venue, no one believes it no more. And I think that we shouldn't be like that with boxing. It should be the best fight and the best.
Who wins that fight if they do fight? Because it's all split 50-50, isn't it? So what's your opinion?
Crawford just finds a way to adapt, doesn't he? I think Spence is Spence, you know, he's an animal at what he does, but I think you've never really seen a Spence plan B, and because plan A works so well, maybe, but Crawford, just every time you see him, he's done something different. And, you know, he fights a boxer, gets him out there. Boxes a fighter, gets him out of there. There's nothing he can't tweak and change to beat whoever's in front of him. And I think at some point he'll work out Spence. And I think when that happens, I think that's when Crawford will get the better of him, and I think he'll win. It's
a good fight, one I'm looking forward to. Look, have you got a message to your army of travelling fans and whatever just before we kick off this new year?
Just thank you for the support last year. It was unbelievable, and it spurred me on even more to train after this year and do bigger and better things, so stay tuned.
Absolutely. Look, Nico Leivars, thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We look forward to catching you at your next fight. We'll definitely be there in attendance, and good luck for this coming year.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.